In this video, we will be writing struct data to file with dynamic line content. We'll be using program that we wrote in the previous video, which was titled C24, write struct data to a file as a start. So basically, we'll just be modifying, and I'll be showing you what you need to do to modify that program so that it works with any number of lines, because the previous video was limited to writing to file only 5 lines. So here is the file. We only brought 5 lines from the array into the file. So the changes are basically 3 edits. So that's our structure. So just in case this is your first time looking at this video, we've included the header file. We've defined a structure for a person that has 3 fields, first name, last name, and age. And we've also defined an array of people with 5 elements to go into the array. So the first edit is to remove the fixed size from array declaration to allow dynamic size calculation. So I'm going to get rid of the number 5. Now the second change is an extra step. So this was nothing existing in the previous program. We want to get the number of elements dynamically. So instead of hard coding the number of elements as 5 that we had here, we want to calculate that number dynamically. So to do that, we will use sizeof people. Now what this call will do is it will get us the total size of the entire people array, and then size people of we take a look at the first element of the array. What this does basically is it gets the size in bytes of a single person struct. Basically, we're looking at the first element. Now, if we divide the first by the second, we're dividing these gives us the total number of elements in the array. Now, because that returns the total number of elements in the array, we want to capture that into a variable called count, and it's going to be an integer. And let's close it off. Now, the other thing that we need to do, so the third step was to open the file for writing. So that pretty much remains as is. And the fourth step is to check if that file has opened successfully. And if it didn't open successfully, we display an error message and exit. This part was where we wrote the data to the file. So we initially have a for loop that runs 5 times and sends the data to file, 2 strings and an integer from the people array. And so the edit here is to keep the for loop and replace the hard-coded 5 with count. So instead of 5, now we can use that variable here that gave us the total number of elements in the array, which was captured into the count variable, and then we will loop up to that much. Then in step 6, we close the file. In step 7, we send a message to the user on screen so that they know that everything went well. And in step 7, we end the program successfully. So let's compile. Let's run. Now we get the message that was printed here. That data has been written successfully. So that's coming up. But next we want to look at the file. So the content of the file showing that 5 lines have been written to this people.txt, because that's the name of the file we wrote into. Okay, so now let's just test if this is capable of, writing data to whatever line numbers we have. So if we change the number of lines into 10 instead of 5, would that actually work? So we need to make sure to run compile and run the program again, and to make sure that it actually works as expected. So as you can see, we've got now 10 lines written while we did not hard code any value. So that was all done dynamically during the program. So that's pretty much it in this video. I hope it was useful to you. Appreciate you watching. Please ask questions in the comment sections if you have any questions.